So let's talk about acids. Acids have some general properties in common. They taste sour. They can dissolve a lot of metals, not all of them, but many of them. They turn blue litmus red, and we'll be using litmus paper in lab, not this week, but in the future. And so litmus paper in the presence of, you can have red paper or blue paper, and in the presence of acid, blue litmus paper will turn red. And red litmus paper will turn blue. And so you can tell if something's acidic or basic. And acids also neutralize bases. This is a table of some common acids, and there's nothing that you need to, remember from this. Just want to show you there's lots of different acids in our everyday lives. Carbonic acid, that's what's in soda as a result of the carbon dioxide. Citric acid is found in lemons and limes. And when we look at all of these chemical formulas here, we see the H in red. And all of these start with H. Different disciplines of science have different ways of writing chemical formulas to suit their own purposes. In general chemistry, when we write an acid formula, we always put the hydrogen first. In OChem, that's not the case. If you go looking things up on the internet, you may get a different way of writing formulas that doesn't match up with what we're doing in class. So I just want to point that out. All of our acids are going to start with H's. Bases are kind of the opposite of acids. They have a bitter taste. They do not taste good because they are not good for you. Most bases are toxic. They have a slippery feel. So, you may have spilled a little bit of 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide on your hands, and it feels slippery. You're like, what's that? Well, you've got base on your hand, and you need to just set down what you're doing and go wash your hands. The base interacts with the oils on your skin and begins to make soap. That's why it feels slippery. And if you leave it there, it will start interacting with your skin, right? So a lot of the chemicals that we use, the lab manual says, oh, these are hazardous. And yes, they're hazardous, but they're not going to kill you instantly, right? You get a little sodium hydroxide on your hand. Well, you've got probably a minute at least to go wash your hands off and no harm done, okay? But you want to rinse until that slippery feeling is completely gone. So bases will turn red litmus paper blue, and bases neutralize acid, so that kind of makes sense. Alkaloids are a group of organic bases that are found in plants, and these are often poisonous. And so, I forget which, I think it was in Shakespeare, they talk about hemlock, drinking hemlock and it killing you. Well, hemlock is an alkaloid. It's an organic base found in a plant, the hemlock tree, and really toxic. Here are some common bases, excuse me, and what they're used for. This one, sodium bicarbonate, you probably have in your kitchen. It's called baking soda. And that box of baking soda is just sodium bicarbonate, also known as sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, which property is not associated with an acid? Dissolves metal, turns blue litmus red, has a bitter taste. The bitter taste, yeah.